So today we are going to learn how to make the Celtic cross spread. Before I will continue, I will have to say that this is how I'm doing the Celtic cross spread. This is my method. This is how it's working for me. If you're interested, you can take my teaching and utilize it for yourself. And I want to remind you that there is no magical police, there is no tarot police. The tarot world is a very creative sphere. So you can make up spreads, you can be creative and make for yourself the system and the techniques that will work for you. Now let's learn how to make the Celtic cross spread. This is the layout. I'm going to show you how I'm putting the cards. So this is card number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you're shuffling the cards, you are asking the question, and you are taking the cards in this fashion. Some people are taking the cards in a bit different way, but again, it's for you to decide, it's for your own techniques and how it's comfortable for you. For me, this is how I'm doing this. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So let's begin with card number 1. Card number 1 will tell us which direction our reading is going. This is the card that will show you the direction of the question, where our querent is going, where the question is going. The second card will show to you what is blocking the question, what is blocking the querent. The third card will show to you what is the solid ground of the querent or the question, on what the question is based on what the question is standing on. It can also mean that those are the factors that actually can help the question or can help our querent. This card will show to us what is happening in our querent's mind, about what he's thinking. This card will show to us what's supposed to go away, what is no longer serving our question, what is no longer serving our querent. And now we have 3 future cards. This card will tell us the future, this card will tell us the future, and that card will tell us the future. This will be the most recent future. Those are the things that will happen immediately. Those are the things that will happen also in the future. And this will be the outcome. Usually, I recommend to always program the spread for the time frame that you're interested to know. So for instance, if you programmed the spread for a time frame of a year, it basically will show you all the parts of this year. This will be the first period, the second, and this will be like at the end of the year what will happen. It all depends on you, it all depends on how you're programming the question and the cards. Always do that at the beginning when you're shuffling, when you're asking the question. So just program the time frame. Maybe your querent can actually help you and he's interested to know what will be the events in this particular year or in 6 months or in 2 years. You can program that. So those 3 cards will actually show to you the time and the course of the events in that time frame. So this will be, as I told you, the immediate present time, like the near future. This will be the further future, and this will be like at the end of the time frame. Now regarding those 2 cards, this card will show to you how people are evaluating your question or the situation. what the outside world is thinking about your situation and about your question. This is your surroundings. This is who is near to the querent. And this card will show the fears and the dreams of our querent or our question. So now let's interpretate the cards. I did not really have a question and a specific situation, but let's just see what the cards are telling to us. So the first card is the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is the direction that the querent and the situation is taking us. So here we can see that the direction that our querent is going is a direction of dealing with challenges, dealing with obstacles, and here we can even see that there is jealousy towards our querent, or the querent will face some jealousy and difficulties. But notice that the Seven of Wands is always winning. I mean, this is the position of a winner. So although there are obstacles, challenges, difficulties, our querent managing to get rid of those challenges. Another factor of this card is being focused. So this card is telling to our querent to be more focused on his question or in his situation. Not to be scattered, not to be all over the place, but to be more focused and to the point. Now, what is blocking in our querent and our situation? Here we have the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands can say that there is lack of planning. Lack of planning and the fact that our querent wants to take over the world, but he's indecisive, he wants to do a lot, but he needs to have a solid plan. He needs to write down his plans, he needs to plan his activities, like what the next thing that he's going to do. And also in the Two of Wands, there is a tendency of wanting a lot, wanting to have a lot of things, but being in a phase of stagnation. So in this situation, we can say to our querent, don't be in a stagnant situation. Plan your activity, what do you want to do and how you're going to manage that. And start following your plan. Don't be right now in this indecisive or stagnation period. So in this card, we can see on what our querent is standing, what can actually help our querent. So here we have the Six of Wands. Six of Wands is a card of victory. So we can say that in this situation, our querent is still on the right path. He's winning. He's on the horse. He can manage his challenges. And those two cards are really telling us the same story of being focused, of making plans, of dealing with challenges. So basically our querent have good chance to win his situation, but he needs to be focused and deal with his challenges. So this card will show to us what is the thoughts of our querent. So here we can see that our querent is thinking about movement, about doing things in a very fast way, without even thinking. You see, there is a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of fire. We have 4 fiery cards, and our querent is really enthusiastic. He's only thinking about how to do, how to win, how to conquer, how to move next. He's very fiery. This question and this situation is on the go. We also can see that our querent is actually active regarding his question, because there are fire cards. There are wands. There are 4 wands in this spread. There is a lot of activity regarding the question, and our querent is active. So he needs to be more active on a productive way, because he's fiery, he's enthusiastic, but he needs to maybe be more focused and plan his activity on to the right path, not being scattered. Here we have a card of the near future. But first I will talk about this card. This is the position of what needs to go away from our querent's life. The Two of Pentacles is talking about juggling on one foot and doing a lot of marketing, advertising, trying to please others, trying to sell himself. So we don't know what is the question because I did not really programmed any question. But no matter what is the situation, we need to say to our querent that he needs to let go of trying to impress someone, trying to advertise himself. Like, it's not working in this situation. This card can work on other situations, but in this specific spread, he needs to let go of that. He needs to let go also of doing two things at the same time. You see, again, he's scattered. He's not focused. There is this tendency of not being focused. So here we can see that actually our querent maybe is dealing with two things at the same time. Like maybe he has two relationships. Maybe he is doing two jobs. And he needs to let it go. He needs to be more focused on his specific topic, on what he wants to achieve. So the near future, we have the Strength card. This is a wonderful card of taking control of yourself, taking power, going into the right direction. Here we can see that our querent is controlling his forces, he's controlling himself. Maybe he's not going to be lazy, maybe he's going to be focused. Like we can see here that the querent is going to work on himself and he's going to reach success here. So now we are going to this card. This is again those three cards are cards of the future, and this is the middle of the future. I don't know how to say it. So here we have even more wonderful card. We have the Emperor. I love this card. This is a very great card. This is a card of organization, of doing the right thing, of planning everything, of material wealth, of being really down to earth, being a leader, being authority figure. Like we can see that our querent is going really on the correct path. Here we can see the querent's surroundings. Now to some of the people it can really show that this is the person that is near our querent. If it's a woman, it can be her husband, that this is her close surroundings. And maybe that person is got to do with the question and our querent. Or this card can show to us how other people are evaluating our querent and his situation. So here we have the King of Cups. The King of Cups is a good card if we are talking about spirituality, if we are talking about studying something, or if we are talking about showing some emotions. This is a very good card. Like other people are evaluating our querent as this King of Cups, as a very, we can say, spiritual person, as someone who is good at, again, if we are talking about studying and spirituality and emotions, this is a good card. But if we are talking about practicality, it's not a very good card. It can show that our querent is like the sea, he's not really stable. So this is how other people are evaluating our querent and his situation. So very interesting cards at the end of our spread. Here we have the hopes, the dreams and the fears of our querent. So of course with the fears we can see that our querent is basically afraid of changing his reality. Our querent have the opportunity to change his situation, to change his reality, and it's something that brings him fear. The Death card is not a horrible card. It's a card that's showing to us that there were one sort of reality and then we have a different sort of reality. This is a card of changing. And basically maybe our querent is afraid to go through that transformation and to change his question or his behavior or whatever the question is about. And on the other hand, he wants that his reality will be changed. He wants to have a different reality regarding his situation. So in this case, we can ask the querent, what are you afraid? What are the changes that you are afraid of? Because changes must happen. We can see that changes and transformation in this question must happen. So We saw that that was a very good and wonderful spread, and here at the end we have this horrible card. Like, what is going on? This is the outcome of this spread, and this is the far future. Basically, this card will show to us what will happen regarding this question. Now, before we are going to be very scared of the Tower card, I must tell you that the Tower card is not always a horrible card. Again, it depends on the question or what is happening. We can see that at the future, our querent will face some changes. I mean, we can see that the changes will happen. Our querent will eliminate himself from restrictions. All that information we have to ask with the querent and to see what is happening. We can see that here the querent is releasing himself from some structure, from some bondage, from being on the right path. Something will happen that he will release himself. Now, the Tower card can actually be a very good card in some situations. Now, because we don't have any real situation here, it's difficult to say. Yes, we can say that maybe the situation and the querent will face some distraction, like maybe his idea or maybe his work will face some changes and distraction. Maybe it will show some transformation. For instance, our querent thought in a one way, but after he will come to this time frame, he will be thinking in a different way. You see, his mind patterns will be released. His thinking will be different. His thinking will change. So it's really difficult to say because it depends on the question, on the querent, what is happening. But also we can say that your idea or your situation will face some reconstruction. Basically, this is the keyword of this card, reconstruction. It does not mean that there will be distraction and that there will be horrible things. No, it can mean that there will be some transformation, some reconstruction. Also, with this card, we can say advice card to our querent. We can say to him that he needs to build a solid foundation in his situation. So his work will not collapse or his mindset will not be collapsed in a way. So this is the advice that we can say. So if we have this horrible card at the end and we don't want that our querent will be disappointed, we can pull out more cards and to see more information. So I pulled one card but two came. So if we don't want that our querent will be afraid, we can pull another card to sum up this reading. And we have here two cards. We have the Queen of Wands and we have the Lovers card. So we can ask the querent, does he have someone in his life that have the qualities of the Queen of Wands? Or maybe this is our querent, maybe this is how he's acting, maybe he is the Queen of Wands or she. And we have the Lovers card. The Lovers card does not talking about love unless this is a spread about relationships. If this is a spread about something else, the Lovers basically is saying that there will be some unification, that there will be some understanding and union with our querent. It's very difficult to explain because again it depends. If this is something that has to do with relationships, so it will be easier to explain because we have here some releasing, some breaking of some routine pattern, like there is some breakage in the routine. And then we have the Queen of Wands, which is a female, or this is independency. This card have to do with independence. And we have the Lovers. Again, if it's in a relationships, it can show literally couple or lovers. But if it's something else, it can show to us that our querent will be independent after this distraction, or after he will rethink his ideas or actions. He will release himself from something. There will be like distraction of old ways, you see. And we have also here the death card, like there is something that has to do with transformation and releasing the old ways. Like the old ways will go away and our querent will gain independence. The Queen of Wands for me is always a card of independence. And there will be some unification of ideas, some partnership. Some people will interpret this card as a card of choosing. It can be, but again, it depends on the spread. So I don't want to make a vegetable salad here because I just throw away a lot of things and information, but I just wanted to show you the structure of the Celtic cross, that this is the direction that our querent is going. This is what is blocking in him. This is what he's standing on, what can actually help him. This is what is in his thoughts. This is what needs to go away. 3 cards of the future, the surroundings, fears and hopes, fears or dreams, and basically that's it. Again, if we have this frightening card at the end, we can pull up more cards or 1 card. But again, you have to remember that the Tower card does not have to be a frightening, terrible card. This card in my practice came up as a very good card, as just changing your mindset and being more brave, jumping into the water, like removing the old ways of thinking and exploring something new. So this card does not have to be so horrible, like this is the end, this is the distraction, this is horrible. Again, it depends on the question and on what is happening here. But if you don't want to leave your querent in this negative feeling, or if you're always interpreting this card only as a very negative card, you can pull more cards. So this is our Celtic spread. I hoped you liked this video. If you have any questions, please write in the comments. If you want to add something regarding the interpretations of the cards, also you are welcome to write in the comments, and you can write how you are viewing this spread or the Celtic cross spread. Also, please write how you are doing the Celtic cross. And basically that's it. Thank you for watching and subscribe to my channel.